Well, welcome back everybody to the Formula Fun podcast. And it's time for our review and thoughts on the Russian Grand Prix of the weekend gone by. As always, alongside me is Rage. How are you doing this week?
You're very good.
Good.
Absolutely fabulous. Who am I kidding?
Ready to talk about some team order controversy?
Oh, of course. I love team orders.
Some shock driver moves.
Shock moves.
And probably a lot of rubbish as well.
A lot of filler.
all filler, basically no killer. That's the motto of this podcast. No?
I guess.
Alright, well, let's get into it. This week's Russian Grand Prix. Never been a circuit I've enjoyed much in terms of the racing. You know, it's on the calendar because they pay the big bucks to be on it. But it does seem to be growing in popularity in terms of crowds and people going out there to watch it. So, you know, it's turning slowly into a good event. It's just not a classic, is it? I can't see it becoming a classic. But it was a pretty interesting weekend and a pretty interesting race. So I'm sure we'll have good fun getting into it. We start, as we always do, with practice. Mercedes looking incredibly dominant in practice. Seems to have taken a big step forward. Or Ferrari have been held back, which is something I might want to talk about in a bit. But there does seem to be rumours around Ferrari's lack of pace. But practice, as you expect, was practice. Any thoughts on practice? No.
Well, some cars went round.
Yeah.
Some faster than others. And
Okay.
some not at all.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Some on fire.
Really?
None on fire. No fires.
We're trying to make more out of it.
Yeah, well, you know, might as well. Some went backwards.
I mean, you could say to someone, you see the fire in practice, and they go, no. You can go, it definitely happened.
It happened. I saw it.
Just watch
Definitely wasn't watching another practice from another time.
No. Just watch back the 4 hours. I'm not going to tell you where it is. But there's a fire somewhere. Right, let's get on to qualifying. As I really don't see any point in the practice session, really, in this. We just do it to fill the quota, I guess.
Pretty much.
Practice, tick.
Some stuff happened.
Probably something happened, but I don't know. I didn't watch it. To be honest, I don't really get time to watch practice. If it was all free to air, then maybe I would when I get home in the evenings, but it's not, so I won't. Right, McLaren and Williams, pretty terrible qualifying, it's got to be said. Why is BBC have fucked up their qualifying thing again?
Always.
Why have they done that?
Why have they done that?
That's what I just
Naughty
said.
BBC.
Yeah, not quite sure what's happened there. Anyway, yeah, both McLarens and both Williams out in Q1. Williams struggling with
Shocker.
pace. McLaren just going backwards and back. I mean, I know they're concentrating on next year now, surely, but
Yeah, they've given up. So have Williams, really. They've all given up, mate. Given up.
yeah, it's
All of them.
not great.
Even the top runners, mate, given up.
Okay, let's not get carried away now.
They've all given up, mate. Gone home.
Another rage sweeping statement there. A rage fact.
Given up, gone home.
Yep, they may as well not turn up.
Nah.
I think it's just going to be the two Mercedes in Japan.
Yeah, might as well, mate. It's given up, gone home.
Yeah, what's the point? What's the point in sport, hey?
Give up and go home.
Nothing out of the ordinary can happen in sport.
No.
The fifth car knocked out in Q1 was Brendan Hartley in the Toro Rosso. Again, not too surprising. Quite away off his teammate again. I really struggled to see him in that car next year. But his saving grace might be the fact they have nobody else. Which isn't much of a saving grace, not something to shout about, but he may get another year. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
You never know.
You do never know. Right, I need to get the Sky results up because this is wrong.
Okay.
I know the two Renaults were 11th and 12th. It was quite an interesting thing for them. Right, bear with me. bear with me.
Rawr,
Right.
Bear with you.
Sessions. Quali 2. So, the two... Oh, actually, two Renaults were 14th, 15th. They didn't run. Very strange qualifying 2.
That's why there's no thing, because they didn't make times, did they? They didn't bother.
Yeah, but the times are in on... They could queue up. Oh, they haven't fucked it up. That's what happened. Right.
They didn't run.
Right, yes. So, interestingly, obviously, the two Red Bulls and Pierre Gasly both had engine penalties to take. So they were going to be starting at the back of the field no matter what happened. And Renault, quite smartly, especially after how well Singapore went for those guys starting just outside the top 10, decided not to run at all.
Yep.
Therefore, being promoted to 11th and 12th with fresh tyres, or tyre choice. So, Q2 was a real non-entity. And it was just sort of everybody through by proxy. It did mean that Marcus Ericsson got his first Q3 appearance.
Oh!
Since 2015. Great job. There's a lot of people taking the mick out of, I think it was Crofty on Twitter, for congratulating Marcus Ericsson on making it through to Q3. It's a great improvement. He's done a great job. No, he was there by proxy, really. He was there because he was going to be there no matter what.
Great job, though, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, smashed that.
Job.
Smashed that.
Did really well.
But in other news, that Sauber has really come on. I'm really excited to see what they can do next year.
Turn on the old Sauber is what I say, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Kimi can do in that car next year if they continue their trend. I wouldn't rule out seeing Kimi, maybe have a shock podium next year if that car really does improve.
You literally never know. Stuff happens in Formula 1. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's normally Force India that pick up the pieces whenever there's a podium going. But if you put Kimi in a Sauber, and you never know. I think in the right situation, Leclerc could have got one this year, potentially. So, but it meant that both Red Bulls were out in Q2. Pierre Gasly, obviously, didn't run as well. So those three went to the back of the grid. And there were two Renaults promoted to 11th and 12th. Into Q3, Marcus Ericsson, he was there. You can definitely say that about him. But he was 1.4 seconds off the next nearest car in Q3. To be fair, he did do a 33.9 in Q2, so there was some pace there. Romain Grosjean 9th in the Haas, Perez 8th in the Force India, Leclerc 7th in the Sauber, Ocon 6th in the Force India, and taking best of the rest in a very lofty position of 5th was Kevin Magnussen. I've had a lot of bad words to say about Magnussen sometimes in the past, but he is a very good driver. He's a very quick driver.
He sucked some balls to get where he got, eh?
And he's got a bit of speed to go with it. So, and not the drug. So yeah, I mean, it's a close midfield between those three teams at the moment, especially that Sauber in the hands of Leclerc. It was an incredible time for him, really. But Magnussen again, the big difference, 33.1 is pretty staggering in that Haas. Stand out from those five? Would you agree it was Magnussen or Leclerc again?
I think Leclerc, for me. Magnussen had the car underneath him. Again, outperforming his teammate by a country mile.
Would you agree that Ferrari have two junior teams?
Yeah.
In Haas.
I guess. I think they have a junior team and they have a product team, don't they? They have a friend. You got a friend.
Here, have our car. Just change it very slightly.
Do you think that's what they'll do next year?
There's certain stuff they can't give them, I'm sure, and I think they're tightening it a bit, but in terms of the rule set. But yeah, that Haas will be this year's Ferrari, no doubt about it, for the majority. So I could definitely see them staying there or even moving up in that midfield. I think you're right, and this draws back to the fact of a lot of people saying about how they're trying to implement budgets and stuff for the next rule change, budget caps, and they're just people take Ferraris as the example. If they can only spend 100 million per team, they will, if Haas are spending 60 million, they'll just give them 40 million to develop for them. And they'll say, right, Haas, you do the brake development. Sauber, you do the suspension. You do it, in inverted commas. We'll just...
Yeah.
You just happen to get 20 new employees with Italian passports. And that's how they'd get around it, wasn't it? So I don't think budget cap will work, but definitely that Ferrari partnership with Haas and Sauber is definitely proving dividends for both of them, and not working quite so well. But I feel Force India and Williams are two more independent teams, aren't they? I think Sauber are happy to get that hand-me-down, and Haas are. But I can't imagine Force India or Williams want to take that kind of hand-me-down of parts from Mercedes. So maybe that's
I don't think. Can you imagine like Williams with a Ferrari engine? Do you think that would ever happen? Has that? I don't think that's ever happened, has it?
Never been a Williams Ferrari, no. No, they've only been Renault, Honda, and
Mercedes.
No, I don't think they've had a Mercedes engine. Who's it they had in the late 90s? Is it Duratec, Supertech?
Haven't Williams got a Mercedes engine right now?
Oh yeah, yeah, true.
I swear,
I just went back in the past.
I swear, I made the same mistake the other day, and you roasted me for that.
No, you said the Williams currently had a Renault engine.
Yeah, but still.
I was in history mode, going back through the years, but yeah, okay. It's a mistake. I'll hold hands up to that. It's not quite as bad as saying as it definitely has at the moment.
Got the old Renault engine in it, mate.
Yeah, the old Renault Williams of today. Right, let's go on to the top four. Ferrari got a bit closer than I thought they would to Mercedes, and some footage from Vettel's lap show that he only lost 3 or 4 attempts in that one mistake in the final sector. Otherwise, he would have been a lot closer. But yeah, they're a long way off the pace. Long way. Vettel beating home Raikkonen and Bottas beating Hamilton. It was he's got a way round this track, hasn't he? Young Valtteri. Shame he can't do it anywhere else. Well, maybe Austria. But yeah, it was a very impressive performance from him. And he found the time when he needed. And Hamilton didn't beat him on the first run and then made a mistake on the second run, didn't he? He went round wide, then got dirt on his tyres, and then went sailing off the track the next turn. So,
bit odd, isn't it?
What, Lewis's mistakes?
Yeah, he was. Do you think he was pushed?
He was pushed
No,
by an invisible ghost.
No, he was pushing because he knew that Valtteri was doing a good job. Yeah,
he was definitely pushing. I think that was he was feeling challenged. He's never liked Russia much, or he's never excelled around. He has won twice, but he says himself it's not a track he enjoys or gets on well with. And Bottas just seems to have a way around here. It's one of those new tracks that Bottas hit from the outset, and Hamilton's never really found a match for him. But yeah, the second lap, the mistakes were just him pushing, definitely trying to find the time. It was a superb performance from Bottas. It's
he did well all weekend, didn't he? He didn't really put a foot wrong.
Yeah, and it just highlights, doesn't it? Like, why can't you do that all the time? And I think that's why, as it was commented over the weekend, he only has that 1-year rolling contract because he doesn't find that speed consistently enough. But yeah, he's absolutely on form and well deserved of the pole position. So that was your grid. Star of qualifying for you.
Bottas, it's got to be Bottas.
Yeah, I would agree. It's got to be Bottas. Definitely put in a great lap, and not even the great Lewis Hamilton could beat him.
Yeah, bit of a unlucky one for him. The Ferraris were just way off the pace as well. I was like hoping there was going to be like a little bit of a Ferrari push at the end. Everyone said, "Oh, they're too far away. No one's going to do it." Sometimes they do hold a little bit back, don't they?
Yeah, I think the speed was in the car for Vettel to be a tenth or two. I think he literally dropped 3/10 of a second off the mistake at the end. So if you take that in consideration and he's on a 1:31.6, then it's not too bad, is it?
No.
But there's definitely a drop off in pace from this weekend. Consistently been a drop off in pace the last few weekends, really. In the ultimate pace, obviously Raikkonen did the job at Monza, but yeah, there's a lot been said about what they've maybe been asked to do with the oil burning behind the scenes, because that car is not smoking anymore. There's no real exhaust puffs from that little slot, so there's a lot of people saying that they've been asked to dial that back behind the scenes, and that's cost them their advantage in a straight line, which they've had all season. So there's definitely something happened there anyway. They've lost a bit of pace.
Yeah, no, I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, so we'll see. There's we'll talk about what we think will happen in the future after we get onto the race. I guess the main event. What happened?
Some people went round, mate. They got in their cars and they went, let's have it, mate. Off we go.
It was some racing. Definitely some racing.
Go on.
No, go on.
No.
You can do some chatting.
No.
Go on. No. Well, Lewis Hamilton got way off the line. Bottas got away off the line. Hamilton looked like he was going to get swamped by Vettel as well, and then took the slipstream back off Bottas, and that enabled him to actually almost attack Bottas into turn one. But was not to be. Bottas held that line to turn one, and they all really held position in the top four.
Yeah, there was a bit of a slap around the face from Lewis, wasn't it, going into turn one? He ran a little wide and then had to cut back across to block Vettel from getting the outside on the first corner.
Because Vettel tried to go out round the outside long turn three, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Didn't really work out for him.
Nope. Everyone at the back got through all right, didn't they?
Yeah, no real instance, no big dramas, just some big movers in the form of 2 Red Bulls.
Oh yeah.
Verstappen, by the end of lap 6, was 5th. Was staggering. Like, that these cars, the front 3 teams have a big advantage over the rest of the field, but that's still impressive. Especially on a track where overtaking's not that great if you haven't got the straight line speed, which Red Bull do not.
No.
He was just flinging them up left, right, setting them up left, right, and centre. Just charged through the field. We did see Ricciardo run over some debris.
He did.
There was a bit of contact to turn one actually between Carlos Sainz and someone else. I think it might have been Grosjean.
Sainz loves a bit of action, mate.
He does. Took a bit of barge board off Sainz, which affected his race quite badly. But apart from that, it was all pretty clean.
It was all fine, mate.
It was all fine.
Gasly got a bit of debris in the face. He said it was coming for his eye and he was scared.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Must have missed that. I guess that's the main thing we can't ignore. Both Toro Rossos, massive brake lockups and spins. I still haven't seen anything on what happened. There's been a press release on it.
I'm not sure. As far as I'm aware, they both had a front brake failure, both at the same time. I know Gasly set off and his brake pedal was going quite long, and it wasn't very efficient. And then 2 or 3 laps later, it failed completely, and both cars happened at the same time. That's as far as I know.
It's bizarre.
Very odd.
I haven't watched Ted's Notebook. I'm sure that would have given me the answer.
Probably.
As he always does.
Watch Ted's Notebook this time. You might even get a glimpse of his willy.
He pops it in once a year. Doesn't tell you when.
Just going
keeps you on your toes.
It's like, this is a nice diagram of a Williams front wing. Here's my willy. And this is Ferrari's new oil burn system. And there's another picture of my willy, but from the other side.
It's all I draw in my notebook. There's no actual Formula One stuff in it.
It's just all my penis.
Just sketches of dicks. You don't expect it of a man in sandals.
Does he wear sandals?
He does sometimes. I think he's been banned from doing it.
Oh, why?
Pit lane regs.
Oh.
I don't think he's allowed to anymore. I seem to remember hearing anyway. But that's a story no one's really interested in hearing. So yeah, back to the race. There wasn't much action. Obviously, the two Red Bulls got themselves through. Charles Leclerc had a bit of battling early on, but then got the gap, and that enabled him to sort of pull away from the following cars. Obviously, the two Renaults were going long, so they stayed out quite a while whilst everyone pitted off the Hypersofts. And then, yeah, the battle at the front. So it all sort of developed from the first round of pit stops, didn't it? And
Yes.
Obviously, Bottas was the first to pit. Vettel then came out afterwards. And then Hamilton pitted a couple of laps too late. He waited another couple of laps, didn't he, after Vettel?
2 laps after Bottas pitted, he came in.
Yeah, but it was another 2 laps. I thought Vettel was the lap after Bottas, and then Hamilton waited 2. I
thought it was just a 2-lap gap between them, but it could have been. I was watching it on Peasant Vision.
No, so was I. It doesn't. You say that as though it gets rid of the facts.
Well, they cut bits out, didn't they? They cut out a bit
not the lap
flannel.
number.
No, I didn't take much attention to that kind of detail.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
well, I expect you to.
Well,
Why did you not? Why are you on this podcast if you don't get those details?
I think I'm on here just because of, sometimes I wonder why.
Sometimes I do as well. We might have 1 or maybe 2 new applicants next week on the podcast.
Whoa!
When you're away on holiday.
Whoa!
No, we might have. I still haven't actually asked anybody, but I've got a few ideas for guests potentially.
Good.
I don't really want to do it on my own. I'll
No.
be honest.
No.
I'll just end up talking about tyre compounds or something for like 3 hours. Where's the time gone? On to qualifying.
So where were we?
So yeah, the result of Hamilton waiting so long meant that Vettel actually jumped him in the pits. And then Hamilton and Vettel had one of the best wheel-to-wheel battles we've seen of those two this year.
Yes.
Didn't last very long.
Nope, quick battle.
Just a couple of corners.
Quick bish bosh. Done.
Yeah.
Bosh bash bish.
So Hamilton got a good run on him into turn 1.
Yep.
Vettel moved to the inside slowly and then very quickly.
Yeah.
Right on the limit, I would say, in terms of fairness, that one. He did move across, but then he didn't keep going. He did move back. And I think it was hard, but just about fair. And, I think Hamilton reacting to it was admirable. He didn't complain about it or anything, and he actually praised him for his defending. So I think all's good there. Is that how you saw that first move?
I thought it was a bit cheeky at first, but looking at it from another angle, technically there was space for another car to get in there, just if you wanted to.
It was off the track, that space, but
it was off the track, but it was one
line.
continuous, albeit different, changing move. But yeah, no, it was all right. I think it was okay. It was on the limit, wasn't it? And that's Formula One, so it was just one of those things.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah,
exciting stuff. There's a bit of dust. There's are they going to take each other off? No, they're fine. That's kind of all the Formula One races for most casuals, isn't it? Oh, they nearly crashed. No crashed yet. And then Hamilton just nailed him through turn 3, round the outside. And then got him the inside into 4. It was a pretty brave move. And but you would expect nothing less of a Lewis Hamilton, would you?
No, I think it was quite good. Yeah, excellent stuff.
Lovely overtake. And then came the most controversial moment of the Grand Prix, and the one we're all talking about. Firstly, the radio message for Bottas to get out of the way of Hamilton, a very specific turn at a very specific lap. Then The reason being, they quoted that Hamilton had blisters on his tyres and was under threat from Vettel. I still think it's Vettel. Is it Vettel or Vettel for you?
Vettel.
I think it's Vettel. I think Mercedes are the only people that still call him Vettel. I'm not sure why.
Definitely Vettel.
But I think it is Vettel. I don't know. It's the kind of question I'm sure Ted's asked him many times. I need to know the answer. Because I feel like Vettel would be L-E. Vettel. T-E-L.
Technically, they should know because they're German.
What, Mercedes? No, they're all British.
All German, mate.
What, all the mechanics?
Yeah, all German, mate.
Okay.
Could you hand me a number 9, please? Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'll hand it right now. I don't know why.
Get in there, Lewis.
Get in there, Louise. I think some of them are German, aren't they?
Probably.
That guy's got a fantastic moustache.
But the guy that is Pete Bonington is not.
Well, the guy with the big moustache.
I love the guy with the big moustache. I've never heard him speak.
No idea what his name is.
I expect he just speaks
I'm
in,
gonna go with
grunts and screams.
Hans Verlingerachen.
He's probably like Bob.
Jeff.
He probably
Gary.
Probably is British.
He's probably Gary Handlebars.
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Gary Handlebars. How are you? How the bloody hell are you?
I'm Formula 1 mechanic.
I'm a Formula 1 chief mechanic. My name's Gary Handlebars. How the bloody hell are you?
They don't let me do any important stuff, just the tyre warmers. But,
I'm far too old and senile now to do anything else.
I'm just happy to be here.
Smile and wave, Handlebars.
Their doctor said they could fire me, but it wasn't recommended for my health. I'm sure he's fine, this poor guy. Let's get him on the podcast. You want to co-host with me next week?
Jeff Handlebars, please.
Hello, that Mercedes.
I would need an interview with Jeff Handlebars.
You know, Handlebars man. You know who I mean. So, yeah, Bottas very dutifully moved out the way.
Yes.
Let him past. And then stayed pretty much on his tail till the end of the race.
Yes.
And Vettel couldn't really get close to Bottas. I guess a couple of questions. Were Mercedes right to do it? Was Hamilton right to accept it? And was Bottas right to do it? Let's do them in the same order. So, Mercedes, do you think that was the right request from them, considering the gap in the championship? I'm going to kick that off and say I don't think it was.
Yeah. Look, say they have issues in the future, I think it's okay to let them have it. I get why they did it. No, I understand why they thought, let's do it. I wish they didn't lie to Bottas to get him to get out of the way. Like, just say, we need you to get out of the way.
Do you see how long Bottas was looking at the back of their tyres when they got out of their cars? Just staring at Hamilton's. I'm surprised he didn't start, picking at them. Where are your blisters, mate?
I saw Vettel was having a good look as well.
Because I'm sure he would have been given the same message.
Yeah.
As to why it was.
But it's... I get why. I understand. I think it was a good strategic reason to do it for the championship. So, if something awful goes wrong between now and the end, and Lewis wins by 2 points, or it's 5 points really, but you know what I mean, only wins by 4 points or just about, then it was a great decision. Well done, Mercedes. You kept the title chance alive. But if he wins comfortably by 20 points within the next 2 races or whatever, you know what I mean, then it'll be like, why did they do that? They didn't need to. I was torn because after the race, I thought, well, why? It's literally 5 points. Why do we need to do that? It's 5 points. Let him have the win. But for a strategic way of winning the championship, Vettel's Hamilton's the only person in that team who can win the championship. When he's right there, you might as well let him get the chance to get maximum points. However, Lewis will win the championship if they carry on the form they're doing at the moment, probably by quite some margin. And I will bet a fair amount of cheese that Lewis gives back the win once he's secured the championship.
Yeah, but it's just that's even more of a kick in the teeth to Bottas, I feel.
Well, not really, because if you think about it, he wants. I don't think at the moment he's not really hunting for the points, is he? He's not out for the championship. I think the only thing he really wants is, yes, a bit of the momentum and the confidence, which was more than what he needs at the moment. I guess that's probably more that more the issue. But statistically, he'll still have his win.
That's not, yeah, but I think the big issue here is you're wrong. Bottas beat Hamilton on over a weekend, fair and square.
Yeah.
And he wasn't allowed to keep that. That's what irritates me, is that side of things of, he's...
I don't think wasn't allowed to keep it. I bet they asked him. They didn't tell him.
Yeah, but it's in this... You see, this is the 3 point, yeah? So were Mercedes right to ask him? I'm strongly of the opinion no. There's 2 reasons for me. The first is that it's such a bad... I still don't think team orders should have been allowed in Formula 1. I don't agree with it. All these people that say, oh, teams pay millions of pounds to be in the sport, they should be allowed to... Well, yeah, but they're both their drivers. It doesn't make any difference to the team which way round they finish. Because it's the Constructors' Championship is the only one that gives them money. The drivers is just, all the marketing hype and buzz, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. It's the constructors they care about. And the second point, I would say, is that they were both ahead of Vettel. The only time I think it's justified, personally, is if Vettel was winning and was out of sight, and it's, Hamilton as it was outscoring Vettel with a 40-point lead. What more do you want? Bottas has gone out there and tried to win the race. So, I think he deserves it, and he deserves to fight for that. If Lewis wants to go and win the race, let him go and win the race. And try and get past him. I didn't like that from Mercedes. The second 2 options, Bottas, should he have moved over? Yes. Because it's probably in his contract, and that's the right thing to do for him in the team, and he hasn't got a contract next year yet. Oh, he does next year, but it's a 1-year contract, isn't it? So, yes, I think Bottas was right to let him past.
Mm.
And then the final point, should Hamilton have let him back past? No. If he gets given a win, take it. So I'm those 2 points, that's 2-1, so I guess I'm in favour in general.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Mercedes were right to ask him.
Strategically, I think it's the right decision. Morally, I think it was a bad decision. For the confidence for Bottas as well, it's just fucking soul destroying. It's like literally, mate, you're the number 2. Just deal with it.
Yeah,
I've seen some cracking memes coming over, like someone like a picture of Bottas and then another picture of Barrichello, and then blended in together.
Yeah, you can put Kimi in that as well.
Yeah, literally. They all do it. Look, they all do it. They've done it for years. It's not a surprise. It's happened before. It will happen again. They swap teams over to get the results, even if team orders are or aren't allowed. It'll, like I said, it's happened before. It'll happen again. It's one of those things. It's part of the game, part of the old, the rules and regulations that you can do it. So it's just, it's shit. But
Yeah, I mean, I understand it when it's close, but it's not close. It's not even on nodding terms of close this season, the way it's gone the last few races. I just feel it's doing it for sake be, especially when you've got a driver that you're expecting to go and help win the Constructors' Championship for the rest of the year and next year, and you put him in that kind of position.
Look, things can change. It might be that he ups his game next year and he's putting a little title race against Hamilton. You never know what's going to happen, do you?
Well, maybe, but the Constructors is still open. And if Vettel starts picking up and starts winning a few races, and Bottas takes a slump because of this, and Raikkonen starts beating him, that could very easily reverse in the Constructors. I don't see the worth to it. But look, it's happened. Bottas has done it before, and we know he's the defunct number 2 now, and he has been pretty much since he joined the team, I'm afraid. I know he's been given every opportunity and they can race, and they have raced in the past, but I think he's always been the number 2. I don't think he's under any... Well, he won't admit it. He wants everything fair and square and wants to try and beat Hamilton, but everybody knows what position he's in that team at the moment.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's great for racing to see Mercedes do that, and that be the great talking point of a Grand Prix. To be fair, we wouldn't have had much to talk about otherwise. So, hey, maybe it was a call from the FIA. Quick, Mercedes, we need a news story. Swap them around.
I'm around, boys.
Yeah. So, Hamilton came home to take his 4th win in 5, I think? Or is it 5th win in 6 now?
No idea.
2. It's a lot of wins.
Some would say we have a podcast. I have no idea.
You've no idea. You're just chatting away.
Yeah, just here for the fun, mate.
You only found out this was recorded about a week ago.
I'm just here for the memes, mate. Really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who isn't? Dennis, 8. Still on 8.
That's our 2 memes. Gotta love the 2 memes.
Cream in a can.
That's died down recently.
That's a dead meme.
Dead meme. It was, yeah, again, I don't think we can create meme. Dennis and 8 points we can just about get away with. Cream in a can's just, I don't think it's a meme, it's just something we made up. They're going to put on a t-shirt for somebody at the end of the year. God help them. Right. That was the race. 2 Red Bulls came home 5th and 6th. Verstappen did lead the race for quite a while.
He did very well.
And that was the other thing that annoyed Bottas. He said, I was going to attack Verstappen. Why is Lewis not overtaking Verstappen? I was about to attack him the next lap. Don't know why. I think he's just annoyed at that point, wasn't he? Verstappen decided when he came back out on the ultra softs at the end, along with Ricciardo, just to bring the car home. There was no real point for them to do much with their engines. They knew they didn't have the pace. Lap times would say otherwise, but that's just because they put the ultras on and they didn't even take the maximum out of them when they did.
Nope.
Charles Leclerc stayed on the lead lap just about to finish 7th. Best of the rest, a long way ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Another stunning drive from him, really. And it seems to be either him or Magnussen this year. They just get to that front of the best of the rest and they drive away. And I think that shows more class almost than the guys winning the races or the guys that take it away from those top 6. Because it's such a competitive midfield when they can actually really stick a big margin between them and the best of the rest on pace. That's when you know you got a special driver. Leclerc and Magnussen done that on plenty of occasions, and they're the ones that finished 7th and 8th this time around. 2 Force Indias pick up 9th and 10th. Another pretty average race for them, but still some good points. Grosjean, I don't really remember much happening with him.
They didn't really pay much of attention to him, did they?
No. Midfield was interesting at times, but not much going on. They were very... we did have the swapperoo, didn't we, at Force India?
The old swapperoonie.
Yeah, they let Perez go past to have a go at Magnussen. Immediately couldn't get past for 7 or 8 laps. And they kept saying, we're defending against Hulkenberg. We've got to make sure as soon as Hulkenberg pits, we've got to swap it round again. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Hulkenberg came out like 14 seconds behind him. I don't know what they were on about. But at least it showed the 2 Force India boys are getting on for now. After their issues in Singapore. And they did swap back around, but neither of them could get past Kevin Magnussen still.
That was pretty cool, though, what they did during the game. During the race, I thought it was pretty good.
This game of racing.
This game of life. I thought that was pretty good when they did that.
Yeah, we see it a lot, but it always ends up the same way. It's like the guy behind, I definitely get past. Of course I can get past, and he gets past. No, can't get past. Did I say I can get past? No, I can't get past. Why would I be able to get past?
I can't get past, mate. It's fine. Definitely can't get past.
I just wanted the overtake on my record. Hulkenberg, 2 Renaults, their strategy didn't really work. Carlos Sainz got the damage early on, and Hulkenberg didn't really have any pace when he came back out, even after doing a very long run on the softs. Didn't really make any indents into Grosjean, Perez, Ocon, and Magnussen. So, another pretty poor weekend for Renault. I think the fact that Red Bull were quite a way off, Renault were quite a way off, and McLaren were a long way off. Maybe just didn't work for the Renault engine for whatever reason. Marcus Ericsson came home in 13th. Not too bad, I guess. Obviously, looks pretty terrible when you compare it to Charles Leclerc. I don't know if it's Ericsson just is whether he's a terrible driver or whether Leclerc is that good that it makes Ericsson look average. Because in between Hulkenberg and Alonso isn't too bad, I guess.
I think. Yeah.
Well, we know what you think. We know oh too well what you think. There's another meme. Oh dear. Alonso home in 14th. There was a funny radio message with him giving him an update of some other car, and he said, "Mate, with 15th, I don't care." It's pretty funny. Typical Alonso. Stroll came home 15th, Van Dorn 16th, Sainz again with the damage came home 17th, and Sorokin, his home race was 18th, with the 2 Toro Rossos retired. Driver of the day, driver of the day for you?
Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas.
Yes.
Okay. I'd probably agree with the popular opinion Max Verstappen, just for the way he came through, and the pace. Let's not forget the pace Verstappen had when he came back out.
Bottas.
Okay. Do you want to go into a brief explanation to Bottas?
No, he just had to endure a lot, didn't he? Bless his little cottons.
You're giving him the pity driver of the day.
Yeah. Bottas.
Bottas for you, Verstappen for me. Okay. Right, moving away from that then. Talking points from the race. What are we at now? 50 points between the pair of them. Yeah, 50 points now. Is it over?
Yes.
It's going to take something pretty staggering, isn't it?
Yeah, the only way it's going to change is if there's a retirement from the white cars. White cars, silver cars, blue cars.
Those white arrows.
those greyish white cars.
You mean the famously silver arrows?
The famously white cars, mate.
Famously white cars. Well, I mean, what are we looking at now? 5 races, 7 points between first and second, 35. So even if Vettel wins them all now, he's going to need something from Hamilton to give. So it's getting to the point where it's not looking like it's going to be reversed. But you never know in Formula 1.
Anything can happen.
Their form, and it usually does. Except probably not at this point. Constructors, do you think that's still attainable for Ferrari? Around about 53 points now between them in the Constructors as well. I think it's more likely, but still unlikely.
To be honest, I don't think that's more likely. I think it's more likely that Mercedes will win the Constructors than Lewis will win the championship. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. You think Vettel's got more chance of overhauling him than Ferrari do Mercedes?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be... It all depends on if Vettel finds his form again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If he goes out and wins 3 or 4 of the next 5... Even if he doesn't win the championship, it's that's going to be a big thing for Ferrari, and it'll be a battle of the number 2s.
Big things.
Mm-hmm. It would be quite interesting to see. I don't think we've seen a constructors title go down to the wire for a long fucking time.
You're right.
I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember a season where the constructors went down to the final race. Must be 2008. Has to be.
I literally don't know.
Yeah, because all the Red Bull years, they had it wrapped up before the end. I'm sure they did in 2010 as well. Even 2009, Braun won it in Brazil, and they had one more race after that. I think it might be 2008, which is staggering if this goes down to the wire. I mean, it hasn't got down to the wire yet, so let's not get too excited. There's probably a reason it hasn't gone down to the wire since 2008. Yeah, I think that's all talking points from the race, really.
8.
We had the obligatory Cool. We had the obligatory Putin moment.
Oh, so awkward, wasn't it?
It always is.
It was so awkward. I thought I might die halfway through.
Mm. I
Like
liked,
the cheeky Vettel towel over the camera.
I like that.
I thought that was really funny.
He has his bit of humour every now and then.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah, I think that's all from the race, really.
It was a bit of a mute one, wasn't it? Apart from the controversy.
I mean, Russia always is. I feel we've had a bit of action at turn 1 in the past, and a bit of last lap action between Bottas and Raikkonen before, which gave, I think, Perez a podium one year, didn't it?
Oh yeah, the old double fin knockout. I remember that.
Yeah, that was good.
And the famous selfie that came from it.
What was the selfie?
A bloke in a Red Bull shirt, literally on the same corner, took a selfie just as the accident
They both
happened.
crashed.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That's
You just see a picture
opportune.
of him taking a selfie with the track in his background with two cars smashing into each other. It was just great. See if you can find it. Russia crash selfie. Google it now.
Do you think they have? I'm a little bit worried what that might come up, but some people take some really weird selfies.
Russia F1 crash selfie.
Wasn't there a guy? What was the story a few years ago? That guy that on a plane that got hijacked, and in the end they talked him off the plane, the hijacker, and he was just standing at the front of the plane in police custody as everyone was leaving. Someone was like, "Can I have a selfie?" What do you mean with the man that nearly hijacked your plane?
I can't say I've seen that.
Oh, Sochi. I can't find the original. Oh, there's the original one.
It's the Chinese looking guy.
Yeah. And then there's quite a few of him being photoshopped in.
Oh, really?
Sochi guys, selfie guys getting photoshopped into memorable F1 moments. Oh, there he is with Massa and a Red Bull. I think that's Canada. That's about it. Do you reckon if you take a picture like that off Twitter and someone wants to use it on a news website, do you think they have to get a copyright thing?
Yeah, probably now because of the new meme rules.
There's new meme rules.
What do you mean? Yeah?
You say it like I don't follow memes. You know this.
Like the whole law that was passed to ban memes.
I don't know if you're being serious now.
No, 100% serious, right? So it's...
The law to ban memes.
Yes!
I'm sure that's not worded correctly.
The copyright thing. So it's like if... Because of memes that... Look.
Oh, well, calm down and just explain it to me.
Copyright meme.
It's important news. I've missed, obviously.
Second. EU Parliament approves new copyright rules that could be catastrophic for the internet. So EU Parliament has approved the new copyright rules that campaigners have warned that could be catastrophic for the internet. MEPs voted for the controversial rules known as Article 11 and 13. Sorry,
the most 13.
I know.
My favourite rule.
Of those, which stipulates that technology platforms must filter the things that people post on them to check for copyright infringement. So pretty much, if like there's a funny picture that someone posts, and it's someone has said, "Oh, that's mine, that's my picture," you can't meme it. So from now on, any pictures that I don't know if it's already gone into force, I've no idea.
Yeah, because this makes sense because I've seen some people joking on Twitter every time someone puts up an F1 picture that's going to be copyrighted in a few hours.
Yeah, exactly. So all the memes now pretty much are going to be, copyright striked, and their memes are just going to get taken down.
Depends, doesn't it? It depends what it is, and it depends what.
If it's an image that someone else has created and they think it's a copyright, then it will get deleted. It won't get
only by the rights holder though. That's
exactly.
If they go out and actively copyright strike it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I can't imagine anything to do with Jeff Goldblum would want to.
Well, Jeff Goldblum might contact Twitter and say
he loves them.
I know, but any of
He
his
loves the
But
memes.
some people might not do. Nicolas Cage might be like, anyone who uses
Well, that's
my
what I
life
mean.
is going to get a strike.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Jeff Goldblum would, because he loves them. But yeah,
Well-
someone like Nicolas Cage probably does.
Nick Cage, yeah, probably would.
He just hates everything, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I get that opinion of him.
No idea.
He just seems like a very angry man.
Nick Cage loves
I
it.
love the meme of him driving.
I
I
don't think
don't
I've
know what
seen it.
film it is. It's like a short video meme of him driving a Ferrari in a film. And it just cuts together all the cuts to him as he's driving, and it's just so like he's just so angry and driving the wheel at like 180-degree angles. Like, while he's supposedly driving in like a slightly straight line. It's weird.
I can't say I've seen it.
It's quite funny. Right.
Meme news.
Have we got? Please no. You can do your own podcast if we're gonna have that section.
Meme news. The brand new section.
No.
I think we need a meme news section. I'm gonna do it next time just to annoy you.
Okay, if you do all the prep and I just have to sit here and listen.
I'll
Fine.
even make a little song for it.
Fine. Don't expect me to. Sure, I'm all for that.
Are you?
What, you actively participating in creating stuff for this, including assets? Yes, please.
Meme news.
Next week.
There's some news. It comes from the internet. It's got some pictures that might be copyrighted, but probably won't. It's meme news.
Yeah, on second thoughts, let's not. I've just heard it and I fucking hate it.
I'm going to record you a song for meme news. It won't be this next week. It'll be
Do you
the
want
week
to do
after.
it for all the other segments? And then do
Huh?
you want to also edit everything?
No, I'll just do the song, mate. I'll send it to you so you can pop it in.
Okay, sure. I'm all
Meme
for that.
news.
I'm all for that. As long as it's got a bit, as long as it's a bit better than that.
No, it's gonna be just like that. That's the point. So I'll find the best F1 memes I can from the week. I think. What do people think? Put a comment in the bottom if you think we need a meme news. F1 is all about memes these days. Do we need a meme section in the F1 podcast? We could even change out some dying sections like Crash of the Week for meme news.
We have no crash of the week this week.
Crash of the Week this week is literally Crash of the Week dying.
It's spin of the week.
Yeah, it's Pierre Gasly's fucking Crash of the Week, you bastard! It's Pierce Gasly spinning round and slightly tapping the wall. I don't know if he did. I've no idea. That's the Crash of the Week.
Just
Deal
about.
with it. Yeah.
He made contact with a fly. Crash of the week.
Crash of the Week, mate.
Right, let's move on to some news, of which there is plenty.
News.
First driver
Meme
announcement. No, we're doing that.
Oh,
next
sorry.
week.
Okay.
You got to prepare that.
Sorry.
Well, it's going to be even worse.
Okay. I'm good.
Yep, first driver announcement. Danica Kvyat will drive for Red Bull. God, I hope not. For Toro Rosso in 2019. It's not really a shock. We were expecting one of the old Toro Rosso gang to return because they are so short on drivers.
Russell gang.
And I think he was probably the most likely, wasn't he?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, he's apparently more mature than he was before.
More mature than a fish.
So he's now
In the
got
afternoon sun.
the temperament of a 10-year-old rather than an 8-year-old.
Yeah, why not?
No. It'll be interesting to see, I guess. A lot will depend on who his teammate is. If they do go for a young guy like Dan Ticktum, I can't see him doing it. It would be very interesting to see how he stacks up. If he's up there against Brendan Hartley, frankly, he shouldn't be in motor racing if he can't beat him. That's not really fair to Hartley. I think he just needs a couple of good results, doesn't he? He'd probably be all right. But he's just not. Bless him. He's got much of the Palmer about him. So much talent, so much hype, and he can't. Just doesn't seem to get on with F1. He's there a little late, same as Palmer.
You have the Palmer about you, son.
He has a
Young
little of the first thing I noticed when he walked into the room, he had a little of the Palmer about him. I instantly said, no, not for me. Can send him to Toro also.
He's got a little bit of Palmer about him.
That's so mean. It's fine. Right, Haas confirmed that they will be keeping their driver lineup for next year. Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean confirmed in the Haas's. I think it's an okay driver pairing, isn't it? It keeps a lot of stability there, and it gives them a good indicator of whether their car moves forward or back. I don't think they're race winners necessarily, but they are guys that can get on the podium if Haas make a big enough step forward to get close enough to the top three.
What with fucking Grosjean in the fucking car?
Yeah, I mean, he had a very bad start to the season, but he's been pretty good since then. He just doesn't seem to be as comfortable with as Magnussen, but he could make that step forward. But I think it makes sense for them, doesn't it? Stability, probably fairly low driver wages in comparison. I feel they're two drivers you could probably offer less to each year, and they would still say yes because they want to be in Formula One. Any views on the Haas drivers?
A bit shit, really. One sucks balls, the other one crashes too much.
Okay.
I like Magnussen. I've got a lot of time for Magnussen, even though he's a bit on the line. He's got a bit of Max Verstappen about him with how he races, as in like how kind of hard he is to race. Sometimes unfair, but still, I think it's on the limit, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to have that instinct in Formula One, haven't you? And that
literally
desire.
Out of the pairing, I could only see whatchamacallit going anywhere.
Magnussen.
K-Mags, yeah.
Yeah, I think Grosjean's had his time. He's a fairly steady driver for them to have. I just think they're going for stability, aren't they? I can't imagine Grosjean going beyond next year. But we'll see. He might surprise us. Final driver announcement from the break is Antonio Giovinazzi being confirmed as Kimi Räikkönen's teammate at Sauber.
Very odd, but fair enough.
Well, you called it, so you can't be that surprised.
Yeah, but still.
I think it's Ferrari wanting to give him a go. He's an Italian. It's been quite a while since we've had an Italian hopeful in Formula One. So
I think it's worth a shot, isn't it? You know, for when Vettel does move on, you know, if he does move on, then they know that at least they've got two young whippersnappers ready to bite at the heels.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're shaping him up for a Haas drive the year after, if he does well. Because I can't see Vettel leaving the year after that, and Leclerc, I can't see being a big disappointment. But at Sauber, it gives Giovinazzi's Kimi Räikkönen's a pretty good benchmark. And if he does well, I could see him being moved up to Haas to show what he's made of in the midfield. I think Charles Leclerc, it might have been a step for him as well, but it's just because he's been so impressive that he's gone straight up to Ferrari. But I do genuinely see those two teams as feeders for Ferrari now. They've got a great platform there to feed young driver from Sauber to Haas to give them midfield, and then see how they're really good, really step up, and then make that step to Ferrari. So I see that as a really good platform for them to move people through. So just 5 drivers left then. 2 Force Indias, 1 Toro Rosso, and 2 Williams. It'll be interesting to see. We know our predictions, so we won't go into that. But one thing it does look like is that Ocon's going to be without. Well, he might be at Williams, might he? But there is talk of him taking a sabbatical next year. Which would be a great shame.
Who's that taking a sabbatical?
Esteban Ocon.
Oh yeah. No, that's
He
just diabolical. I think you'll have to take a sabbatical, unfortunately.
Yeah, because
I'd love to leave for a year, go to Formula E, smash Formula E, and then come back and get another race seat in Formula One. He won't. He'll stay in the Formula One kind of thingy. But can you imagine if he goes to another discipline for a little bit?
Well, he did DTM for a long time. Well, not for a long time, for a couple of years. I could see him going back to that for a season. He did pretty well in DTM. But yeah, let's hope he doesn't end up on the scrap heap like Verline, because they're both great talents and never really got their opportunity. So hopefully he does. If he does have to take a year off next year, he'll be back pretty promptly. But again, I would, be looking at where. But we don't know what will happen next year. It looks likely that Kubica is going to be getting that seat at Williams, I reckon. There's a lot of talk about it, but as much as I can see that happening, I still absolutely refuse to believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's not going to happen. Unfortunately,
I just don't. I think Sorokin's staying. Stroll's going to go. Ocon would be the straightforward choice, but I just can't see who else they're going to put in there. Really?
I can't see it being old fucking one-hand McGee. I just can't see him getting the drive.
So kind to him, aren't you?
Oh, he's all right. I just can't see him getting the drive. It just seems very odd that they would give him the drive. Yeah, why not? I don't know. I can't see it happening. Maybe it will. Who knows?
That's the fun of F1.
I just don't think that will happen. No, it'd be nuts. I think Ocon would get it. I can't remember what I said who would get it now.
I mean, I can very quickly pull up the spreadsheet that Fox has nicely done for us.
Don't be
I'll give you
silly.
an update on the points.
Don't be silly.
I'm gonna just quickly have a little look for you. Internal server error. Fuck off.
Casual internal server.
Do on Twitter. It's probably quite a while ago that he posted this now. Any other news from F1?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Predictions actually 16 points to you, 15 points to me.
Oh,
It's pretty close. We missed out Italy.
Oh, what was it? We missed out the Italy prediction.
Yeah, because we never did a Belgian podcast, a Spa podcast.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We never actually were able to do the predictions for Italy, so we missed that one out. We missed Bahrain because I think we forgot to do it. I'm still. We'll see, because I think I can beat you in the long run, but I'm still very dubious about this. This Spain. Fox has afforded you 2 half points for correctly guessing that on the podium would be in first a Mercedes driver and in second a Mercedes driver. I don't know about you, but I don't think that counts. If you didn't take it seriously, so you're not on it.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Why not?
We've also got another section, which is championship. I think this is who would be winning the championship based on our predictions.
Oh yeah.
For me, it was Vettel. For you, it was Hamilton. So for me, it goes Vettel, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Raikkonen.
Mm.
And yours goes Hamilton, Vettel, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Bottas. So that's
pretty close,
interesting.
then, isn't it? Pretty close, mate.
First 2 are close. Bottas is now third, so I've got that one wrong. Right. Yeah, cool. Seat predictions at the moment is 5 to you, 4.5 to me.
4.5?
I'm getting half a point for correctly saying that Giovinazzi would be in Formula 1, but not.
That is absolute favouritism.
You're winning. You're winning
by half a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you should be awarded half a point.
There's still 5 points up for grabs.
A lot of the lower Formula people are probably going to be in F1 next year, but probably won't. Half a point, please.
That's no. That's not how it works. Yeah, the ones we've got left are the 2 Force Indias, which, to remind you, we both said Stroll and Perez. I think we'll be getting 2 points each there. Spare Toro Rosso seat, you said Hartley, I said Dennis. Let's call the whole thing off. Sauber, we both got Ericsson as the remaining Sauber driver.
I think
no points.
I think you're going to lose on Jake Dennis.
Probably. Well, Williams is interesting because we've got 4 completely different drivers. You've got Kubica and Ocon, and I've got Russell and Sorokin.
Oh.
So I think it could. I forgot about Russell. That could be my dark horse. Like if I get both Williams right, because I think Sorokin's going to be there.
I've seen a lot of Russell on the old thingy. Lots
Yeah,
of
well,
people, he's been popping up.
He's
hasn't he?
closing in on the Formula 2 championship, and if he wins that, he's got to be allowed to drive somewhere. I think that should be mandatory anyway in Formula 1. But yeah, so high drama with the prediction spreadsheet. Thank you for doing that, folks, and always keeping that so up to date. I really appreciate it. I like stats, so that's a cool thing. Right, did you know Sebastian Vettel crashed in the in a like demonstration event before the Italian Grand Prix?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. How little crash broke his front wing.
Cheeky little front wing crash.
Yeah. What a pillock. I don't think we have any more news.
I at least have not.
Oh, there is the talk that FIA are going to change qualifying for next year.
Oh yeah, there is some random talk. I heard that as
four
well.
sessions to generate more excitement. I don't know how that generates more excitement. It's just going to make them longer, isn't it? The qualifying sessions. What are they going to do? Make it a final 6 shootout, in which case we know basically which 6 it's going to be. Yeah, we'll see. As long as they give an extra set of tyres. Otherwise, it might be favourable to finish 7th in qualifying. We'll see. I don't think that needs changing, really. But, hey. Is this what you said that from Hamilton wanting to give, perhaps potentially giving a win back?
Yeah.
A report that Lewis Hamilton is willing to give Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas a win back later in the year to repay his gesture.
Yeah, once he's won a championship, he'll give one back.
But the Finn said he would not be willing to accept it. See, I like that. He wants to win it fair and square. That's what I mean. It would be a pity win at that point. I don't think he should do that. It's pitying him. Honda will test an upgraded Formula 1 engine to make sure. Why does it have to specify that in a Formula 1 gossip section? Honda will test its upgraded Formula 1 engine. Oh, it's going to be its freaking motorcycle engine, is it? Right, come on. Unnecessary words. Oh yeah, Gasly saying it's a scary moment. I see where you're getting all your news from.
Where am I getting my news from,
It's
apparently?
all in the gossip section at BBC.
No. I haven't actually looked at the gossip section of the BBC.
Lewis Hamilton is willing to give Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas a win back.
I genuinely just...
Pierre Gasly
Honestly,
said he experienced a really scary moment when his visor was stuck by a piece of debris.
I heard that's the only thing that I saw on BBC. But the Lewis win thing, I didn't see that. I just assumed he'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, you can think I'm lying if you like. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Maurizio Arrivabene has been included in an official list of candidates to join Juventus as the club's general director.
I heard that as well. I heard that he's being might be ushered out of Ferrari at the end of the year.
It suggests something internally is his fault. I don't know.
I think Arrivabene is the best thing that's happened to Ferrari since a long, long, long time.
You see, a lot of people attribute it to the guy who unfortunately passed away recently. Oh, what's his name? Sergio Marchionne.
That's the one.
Because he took over the Formula 1 side of things in 2014, and since then they've flourished. It's not necessarily him. I don't know. He's sometimes he's a bit of a laugh, and he has some chats with people, and then half the time he's a moody bastard. So I don't know. If he goes out, he goes out. From Ferrari's perspective, it's 2 championships they potentially should have won, and they've thrown it away both times. Although you'd argue this one was thrown away by Vettel. The last one was thrown away by Ferrari. But yeah, we'll see. Right, I think that is all from the news. Let's have a quick check because I think we forgot to do it last week. I can't remember. The fantasy. Cream in a Can Cup. Right, Pow. Roberto continues to hold his lead. Connor in the Papaya Orange team is second. Fox is up to continues to hold third, but he's under a lot of pressure from Mirik, who's just 3 points behind, and yourself, who is just 10 points behind Fox in fifth. Armchair Pilot Racing, Jasprog, Dava, Sawyer F1, TKM Sport, Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula 1 team. Great name. Is tied for 11th with me. I'm down in 11th now. Not a great weekend for me. 139 seems okay, but I'm not getting these big weekends that some people are getting, where they get like 180 points.
Big weekend. I stopped changing my teams.
I don't think I've changed. I changed once and it didn't. Where are those other two, I wonder? Sawyer F and TKM Sport are both ahead of me. By do you know what kind of drastic shift my team changes have done?
Made you lose.
They've made me 4 points worse off.
Oh,
just 4 points for all that effort of changing the teams. Oh well. But yeah, keep it up, everybody. I need to spend some time getting a t-shirt design to give Roy something. I need to spend a lot of time doing a lot of stuff on this channel, to be fair. But,
what are your predictions for the next race?
Are we going straight to that? I guess you haven't prepared anything for Challenge J.
I haven't this week, no.
Okay, no problem. Predictions for the Japanese Grand Prix is going to be a resurgence of Aston Vettel is going to take the win from Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen. They're my predictions. I'm sticking to it.
Lewis, Bottas, Vettel.
Exactly the same as this weekend.
Yep.
Okay. I'm behind, so I've got to go a bit different. Can't just peg you all the way. That's it just continues to be a point behind. I've got a feeling I might lose out on that prediction though, but hey.
Nay bother.
See. Nay bother. Nay bother, no woman.
No cry.
No, I've never heard of that. What's that?
No.
It's no bother, no giraffe. Anyway.
No bother, no giraffe.
No bother, no giraffe. No? I'm going to shut up and we are going to get out of it. Probably a slightly short one this week, but hey, I hope you guys enjoy it as always. Keep your comments coming and let us know what you thought of the race this week and what you feel from the talking points and the predictions and what you think of the Bottas incident. And I don't know, maybe some other news you missed or whatever. Even if I haven't been replying to them recently because I'm a dickhead, I need to start replying. I need to start doing so much fucking stuff on this channel.
All right, chill out. Like fucking cry me a river. Either do it or don't, mate. Don't fucking make excuses. These people don't want to hear it. They just listen for an hour about us talk about rubbish.
I'm apologising to people who have
No,
commented.
you're not. It's a muted apologetic rubbish. He's not going to do any more content. This is all the content you're going to get, and have a lovely evening.
I still will withhold. You don't have the right to end the video. I can do it when I want. Yeah, I do still read all the comments, even if I don't reply to them. But I will start trying to. Wow. Let's be honest, I'm terrible at a lot of stuff at the moment. So, work is very important at the moment. But I appreciate you guys for sticking with me and for continuing to watch the podcast. I hope you continue to enjoy it as well. And yeah, join me in Rage for maybe some F1 at some point. Actually, no, you're going away, aren't you?
Yep.
A couple of weeks. Don't join me in Rage. Gives me an opportunity actually maybe to do some content. We'll see.
I think you should do the next podcast as a live stream.
Potentially.
I think that'd be funny.
I need to arrange suitable guests first.
Suitable replacements.
Yes, I didn't want to use the word replacement because that sounds final, but it may be.
Suitable temporary replacements.
We'll see. Is anyone willing to pay me to be on the podcast? No. I also apologise. My chair's been very squeaky. I've just realised it's been squeaking a lot.
Squeak.
Squeaky. Okay, yeah, there will be podcasts next week. It will either be on my own or with somebody if I can get someone to come and do it with me. I have sent a few emails to Bernie. He's back in the podcast game. He did a podcast recently with Nico Rosberg.
Did he?
So it's the natural next step, is it not? Being on the Formula Fun podcast.
Who is Rosberg our podcast?
Yeah, he started it a couple of weeks ago.
Is he encroaching on our turf?
I don't think it's any direct competition.
Whoa!
Yes, he is.
He is. He's encroached.
I feel our area of the turf is like a blade of grass, and it's probably encroached. We've probably encroached that blade of grass on many others.
Well, you know.
But yes, he is, and you'll be getting a letter from our lawyers, Rosberg, as soon as we have enough money to afford them. Approximately in the year 2025, where we're both earning a bit more money.
Yes.
So yes, thank you everybody for watching, and we will catch you again very soon.
Ciao, Bella.